it's time to talk about our bindery. One of my favorite parts of the operation for many reasons, but just the concept of bindery, taking all those unique and individual parts and bringing them together into the finished piece is kind of where this happens. It's a press sheet with ink and toner on it over here. We get over here and now we really start to bring it to life. We're going to start with cutting. So our cutting technology is pretty cool. We are able to actually set the program for our cutter at the very beginning of the process, way back in pre-press, when we're first setting up the job before it even comes to press, and building the programs to ensure the accuracy and efficiency of this particular device. This device, again, is latest and greatest technology. Back in the day, cutting used to be this heavy lifting, throwing a lot of heavy paper around, shoving it around, cutting it up, stacking it. Today, this machine is designed to assist the operator with all of those functions, both making it more efficient and accurate for them, but easier on them, and it improves the quality and the efficiency of the finished product. Die cutting has become and continues to be an increasingly important part of our business, growing all the time. With die cutting, it must start with the dies. There's a few different ways to think about dies in the die cutting process. The first one is when we're doing more static pieces, lots of the exact same type, same thing. We do those with a configured die that's set to cut all one at the same time. We also have the ability to use configurable dies, which allows us to be able to set a press sheet that's very unique and specific to your needs with multiple SKUs on it and set up a die on the fly for that specific job. We use two primary technologies for die cutting here at Thysse. Another example of providing multiple options for our customers under the same roof. We're going to start by discussing the comma, what we refer to as a half-size die cutter, which means it works on a 23 by 29 sheet. This device is really great because it allows us to manage much smaller runs with a lot of unique attributes to those specific runs. So a lot more customized die cutting happens over here. It also gives us the ability to further enhance that finished press sheet with foil stamping, embossing, and debossing. It also manages variable data die cutting pieces in the way that it delivers the finished piece to be able to keep it sorted and organized for the next step in the process. Next, we're going to talk about our industrial version of die cutting. This die cutter allows us to run the full-size press sheet, 28 by 40, and provide finished goods at the tail end of it. The beauty of this device is it's designed for producing mass quantities of essentially the same thing over and over again, which creates a great economy of scale for the process. Our bindery is divided into two very specific sections. One is for roll fed and the other one is for sheet fed. We're going to start by talking about the roll fed bindery. Remember when we talked about the HP inkjet press, prints roll to roll, some way we need to get that finished goods from the roll into the bindery line. That's what these devices do. There's two primary devices. One of them essentially cuts and stacks. It's great for postcards and other single sheet items, and it has the ability to read and record what's been printed and stack it accordingly in a very unique fashion. The other device takes it from a roll, again, all the way through both cutting, stacking, and folding, and getting it ready for the next phase of the bindery, which is typically stitching. The next phase of our sheet fed bindery requires a lot of very sophisticated and complex machinery and an equal level of operator skills and expertise to bring that printed piece to fruition. This is where the folding, the stitching, and the assembly happens. And it's very precision work. The equipment is a big part of it, but not without highly skilled operators ensuring that it's working to meet your exacting standards. So we've talked about folding. Now we're going to talk about folding and gluing, another very important part of our operation. I really like this device because of what it can and what it does. It essentially takes a flat sheet, folds it over multiple times, applies lines of glue, folds those pieces together, and off comes a finished piece. Whether that finished piece is a pocket folder, which we're running right now, or a package for consumer product goods, Either way, it doesn't matter. This device will take it from flat sheet to finished good in a short amount of time. Another important piece of bringing your product to the finished stages is our stitching capability. This stitcher is unique in the fact that it serves both our roll fed and our sheet fed bindery. Doesn't matter where the sheets come from, the signatures, we can assemble them into a finished book here. There's some additional capabilities here that are rather unique to the industry. This device has variable data reading cameras. So we've talked about the ability to print and manage variable data throughout this tour, and this is where it all comes together. So if your cover is unique to a specific individual or group, this device can read it, recognize it, and ensure that that cover gets assembled onto the proper body of the piece. Some say that it takes a magician to make this thing work. Not quite, but it really takes a skilled craftsman that not only understands the device, but understands what it takes to put a high quality finished printed piece together. Really comes together here.